Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order for January 15th, 2015 at 8 p.m. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Coletti.
Here.
Martino.
Here.
Pettigano.
Here.
Monsino.
Here.
Dombrowski.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to omit the prayer. I'm not going to say we have our fire department individual who's going to give us a prayer, and then we'll have a flag salute. So will everybody please stand?
This was written by George Washington, our greatest president. Let us pray. Almighty God, we make our earnest prayer that thou wilt keep the United States in thy holy protection, that thou wilt incline the hearts of the citizens to cultivate a spirit of subordination and lawful obedience to our government and Constitution, and entertain a brotherly affection and love for one another and for their fellow citizens of the United States at large. And finally, that thou wilt most graciously be pleased to dispose us all to do justice, to love mercy, and to demean ourselves with that charity, humility, and pacific temper of mind, which were the characteristics of the divine author of our blessed religion. And without a humble imitation of whose example in these things we can never hope to be a happy nation, grant our supplication, we beseech thee, through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen.
Flag salute, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised, this meeting requirements have been met by posting a notice in the annual meeting in the Record of Hackensack, the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk as well in the public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2015.
Mayor, at this time, we'll move to the approval of minutes for the January 8th, 2015 executive session meeting.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Pettigano.
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, at this time, we'll move on to the installation of our officers for the Elmwood Park Volunteer Fire Department. And at this time, I would ask everyone in attendance to please rise as they advance the colors. Please remain standing as I ask our second lieutenant and lieutenants from all four fire companies who are to be sworn in this evening to please come forward. At this time, I would ask the captains to come forward. I would ask 1st Battalion Chief Michael Sulik Jr. and 2nd Battalion Chief Scott Mutel to come forward. I would ask Assistant Fire Chief William Shadwell to come forward. And I would ask our bagpiper this evening to lead in our new fire chief for the Elmwood Park Volunteer Fire Department, Michael Pressler. And at this time, I would ask Mayor Mola and our Fire Commissioner, Councilman Coletti, to install our second lieutenant and our lieutenants for each of our fire companies. Please be seated. Actually, the captain, back by the chiefs. You guys are up next.
I repeat your name. Do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state, under the authority of the people, and I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform the office of lieutenant in the Elmwood Park Fire Department. So help me God. Congratulations.
At this time, if Captain Patrick Downs III, Robert Daubenberger, Michael Jones, and Robert Shabasta Jr. would come forward to take the oath of office.
Raise your right hand and put your left hand on the shoulder first. We're going to do this again. I repeat your name.
I, Robert Daubenberger,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of this state,
and the Constitution of this state,
and that I bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of
And
the
I will
people.
faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly
the
perform
duties of the office of captain
the duties of the office of captain
in the Elmwood Park Fire
in the
Department.
Elmwood Park Fire Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
I would ask 2nd Battalion Chief Scott Mutel and 1st Battalion Chief Michael Sulik Jr. to come forward.
You've done this.
We've done it, yes. I was the one screwing up.
Okay. I repeat your name, please.
I, Kathy Dillard,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United
and the
States
Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and
to
allegiance
the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly
the
perform
duties of Battalion Chief
the duties of Battalion Chief
in the Borough of Elmwood Park.
in the Borough of Elmwood Park.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
At this time, I would ask Assistant Chief William Shadwell to come forward with his family to be administered the oath of office.
I, repeat your name, please.
I, William Shadwell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and
and allegiance to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in this state
as the governments established in the state
and in the United States,
and the United States,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
the office of Assistant Chief
the office of Assistant Chief
in the Borough of Elmwood Park Fire Department.
Borough of Elmwood Park Fire Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And at this time, I would ask our new Department Chief, Michael Pressler, to come forward with his family to be administered the oath of office.
Oh, she's a cutie.
What I usually do, ladies and gentlemen, is that when we have little children, they usually stand on the chair, so we can all see them. I'm going to ask them to do that, and if you don't mind, I may stand on the chair. Just move the chair over.
Almost, Mayor.
Be kind to the mayor. Take out the paper.
I, repeat your name,
I, Michael Pressler,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
the duties of chief
the duties of chief
in the Elmwood Park Fire
of the
Department.
Park Fire Department.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Mayor, at this time, I believe Chief Pressler has some remarks to share.
Before I ask you.
first.
Yes.
I tried, Mike. Mayor goes off script.
Before the chief comes up with his statements concerning his responsibilities, I want to let everyone know we have two people in the audience I would wish to stand and be recognized. And I'd like one of the photographers to take a picture. Is Ron Presley here? Is Ken Presley here? Gentlemen, will you please come up? Here we have three Presleys, all were fire chiefs. And now we have the third Presler, a fire chief. So I want everybody to know that when we have the Elmwood Park Fire Department, the Preslers do an excellent job and are committed to firematics and helping people live their life safely in Elmwood Park. Gentlemen, congratulations to you. Now, the next generation of Preslers, we're going to have a fire chief who is female. That's true. We don't have a male coming up through the ranks.
I need a heart attack yet.
Thank you, Chief.
A few things to say. Again, thank you, Mayor and Council. I look forward to working with you over the next 2 years. Hope you're successful and make the right decisions concerning the fire department and this town. Real quick, I don't want to go on too long, but just I want to give you a real quick synopsis of why I think I'm here today, and then I'll thank everyone that supported me. I guess you could say I entered the fire service the day I was born. One of my first pictures as a newborn was in my father's three-quarter boot. I remember always looking forward to going to the firehouse on Sunday mornings, having coffee and bagels with the guys. I wanted to go to the firehouse so bad, I would hide in the backseat of my father's car when the pager went on. I would get to the firehouse and watch him hop on the engine and go to the call. Unfortunately, I got left behind because that was okay. I learned so many things the company wants from all the members, things that I treasure and practice today. Respect, pride, and dedication are three that stand out. I always counted the years, months, and days till I was going to be 18 so I could join the fire department. But I was too impatient to wait until I was 18. I needed to do something to make that come faster. I convinced my father, who was then a battalion chief, to investigate the Saddlebrook Fire Department Junior Firefighter Program, which would allow you to join at the age of 16. It took some time, but it was successful. In January 1995, Nick Lawler and I were the first junior firefighters in the Elmwood Park Fire Department. Nick is now a career firefighter assigned to Rescue 1 in the East Orange Fire Department, and I was just sworn as your chief. I'd say it's a true testament that this program works. As I advanced through the ranks, I was fortunate to see a lot of work and some spectacular fires at that. I thank the Lodi Fire Department. Unfortunately, I saw a lot of tragedy, like 9/11. What I feel was one of the worst days of my career so far was the death of my good friend, Kenny Adamo, Captain of Engine Company 1. Kenny, I know you're listening up there, so please watch over us during our term. But enough about me. This is when it gets hard to keep it together. I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for the support over the years. Mom, thank you for bringing me to calls when I was a junior. I would expect you to drop everything and bring me to the firehouse. It's sure to be riding my bike. I can never understand how you were able to keep it together when Dad and I would respond to fires and put ourselves in harm's way. Thanks for being there and supporting me over the years. Dad, you have no idea how hard it was being the chief's son. Deep down I was proud of it every day, but on the surface it was tough. But when it comes down to it, you are the reason I joined the fire department, and it's your inspiration that got me here. You show me what to do and how to do it, and I use your lessons every day. You're a wealth of knowledge and always a good person to bounce ideas off of. I thank you very much and hope you're proud of me. My wife, Sharon, all I can say is that you got yourself into this. My mother warned you, but I'm glad you did not listen. You have been so supportive in ways I cannot describe. I knew you were a keeper when you did not mind that I left our first Thanksgiving dinner together at your parents' house for a house fire. It's no secret, you were my voice of reason and helped me keep it together. I think I must have wanted to quit the fire department about 50 times, but you've always had the words to calm me down and inspire me to keep going. You've been a part of this journey since the beginning, and I can't see myself getting there without you. My daughters, Caitlin and Gabriella. Gabby, you will not remember any of this one, but one day I will explain it all to you. Caitlin, Daddy loves you very much, and I know when you get mad when I up and leave when you were playing Candyland or Cinderella, Uno. And when we or go to a fire call to answer my always ringing cell phone. You're quite understanding for a 5-year-old. I just asked you for 2 more years, and I'm all yours. To the officers and members of the Elmwood Park Fire Department, I look forward to a successful and safe 2 years. The sky's the limit in what we can accomplish. I'm so proud to serve you, and especially proud of your heroic accomplishments over the past year. I just ask you one favor. Whenever we are called into service, remember the feeling that you had when you responded to your first fire call of your career, with your new gear and the first time on a fire truck. That should remind you of the enthusiasm you felt and the great feeling of public service. I think if we keep that in our minds, there's no stopping us, and morale will never, ever be an issue. And one more thing, because if I don't say this, they won't let me in the office at work tomorrow. All right? A special thank you to the Black Operations Section of the Clifton Fire Department Bureau, who mysteriously appear at working fires during the daytime in Elmwood Park, lend a helping hand, and disappear when the flames are out. I can't reveal your identification, but you know who you are. Again, thank you all. I'd like to call up ex-Chief Scott Butel, please. Chief, Battalion Chief, whatever you want. This is the ex-Chief's badge. For Scott Butel, even though he's not going to wear it for a few years, I want to have this, keep this, so we can wear them together one day. That's right. Thank you for your help. There's one more thing. Everyone here is invited back to Company One's Firehouse on Grove Street for refreshments. Again, you're all invited. Thank you, and good luck, everyone.
Thank you very much, and have a great 2 years, and no fires, please.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it that way.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to call for a short recess, maybe for a minute or two, if you want to go over for the refreshments, and then if you want to stay for the meeting, that's fine. We're not chasing you out.
Mayor, may I?
Yes. Mr. Coletti?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Well, let me start by thanking Chief Scott Butel on his 2 years of service as chief of our fire department. It was a hard 2 years. However, Scott, you handled it very well with grace. Your family that hasn't seen you in the last 2 years has reported you missing. Well, they finally will have you back. Thank you, Scott. And welcome to our new fire chief, Mike Pressler, who will be a tremendous asset to this town with his full-time professional fire experience, along with the years he has served this town as a fireman. I have watched Mike grow on the fire department from a rookie to a chief, which attests to his perseverance and his commitment. And he comes from a long lineage of family firefighters. His dad, Ken Pressler, and his uncle Ron, they have to be extremely proud of what they see here this evening. And to all you chiefs, captains, and lieutenants promoted here tonight, your dedication and commitment to this town doesn't go unnoticed, and we humble ourselves to you. Your volunteer services is a tremendous savings to the taxpayers of Elmwood Park, and we all say thank you very much. And I'd like to touch on, take advantage of the moment, and with the audience and the press here, and touch on an accident that occurred around Christmas time involving a car pinned under a trailer and an extraction that lasted more than 1 hour by our fire department. I think the people should know the details, so while I got our new chief here, would you please, Mike, fill us in on the details of what happened that evening?
Guess you didn't print the email out. I didn't remember.
Just what comes to you.
Well, actually, I'd like to turn it over to Scott, because he was the chief in charge that night. My first official action.
I pull an email out. Wait for it already.
Thank you.
You want to read the email?
Yeah, I wrote a quick email to Councilman Coletti and CC'd Scott, because it was his incident, and I've been obviously getting it because I'm chief now, but real quick synopsis of what happened that night and how proud we are of the Elmwood Park Fire Department. So Scott, take it away.
I'm going to read from my phone. It's really small, so please bear with me.
The Elmwood Park Fire Department was dispatched to the intersection of East 54th Street and Molnar Drive for a reported motor vehicle accident with entrapment. And upon arrival myself, it was discovered that a mid-sized SUV had collided with a tractor-trailer truck and was under the trailer section of the vehicle. The occupant, who was in the driver's seat, was heavily entrapped under the truck but was still alive. Assistant Chief Mike Pressler arrived on the scene and had a quick discussion with myself, and it was decided to request Saddlebrook Rescue 1 to the scene, as well as this was going to be a two-part and highly technical rescue. Both units quickly began working on the vehicle. Let it be noted that there was no possible way for EMS to gain access to the patient due to the severity of the accident and the wreckage around him. The Elm Park Fire Department members had to work on their hands and knees under the trailer section using the jaws of life to extricate the victim, while the Saddlebrook members worked from the rear of the vehicle, removing the roof and cutting the seats out of the way. Basically had to tunnel their way through the car for patient removal. After about 20 minutes of extrication, the patient was partially freed and rescue breaths were administered by the fire department personnel until he was totally removed from the wreckage itself, well within the golden hour. The patient was removed and handed over to the Elmwood Park EMS and St. Joe's paramedics. He was transported to St. Joe's and is listed in critical condition. I'm happy to say that over the last few weeks, we have received promising reports, and now as of Monday, he was transferred out of ICU and he's in a regular bed.
I might want to add that every piece of equipment on that rescue truck was used, both sides, correct? And that's what was one of the good points of purchasing that truck. And to all you naysayers of, how many years do we have the rescue truck now?
It'll be 10 soon.
10 years ago, there was a lot of naysayers who thought we were going overboard and it was too much, but I'm sure that man right now and his family are very thankful that we did go along with the purchase of that, along with what these gentlemen did that evening. When I got the email, I was like flabbergasted to think that he was pinned there for an hour and we were working on our knees to extricate him. That's saying a lot for you gentlemen. What do you say, we give it to them?
Chief, if you would dismiss the honor guard, I was remiss in telling everybody they can leave if they wish, but I think we should dismiss the honor guard first.
Honor guard dismissed.
Thank you very much.
Recess.
Just a couple minutes.
Continue our meeting with ordinances on first reading. We have Resolution R 25-15, introduce ordinance 14-01 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to amend an ordinance entitled an ordinance to establish the Water Department of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to fix the rates and prices to be charged for the use of water and establish rules and regulations for the distribution, supply, and use and protection of said water, and penalties for violations of certain said rules and regulations, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, February 5th, 2015, at 8 p.m., or soon thereafter, as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance may be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he's hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Thank you. May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. Who? Mr. Catamagna, second? Mr. Martino, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the first reading. There'll be a second reading which you can make comments on. I'd just like to indicate that the Passaic Valley Water Commission has increased our water rate by 4%. So what we are doing tonight is simply giving that to the public, and they will pay it so we don't run into a deficit. So we're just paying what we have to pay to Passaic Valley. Thank you.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Pagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Under the consent agenda this evening, we have Resolution 26-15, payment of bills, Resolution 27-15, confirmation of escrow checks, Resolution 28-15, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 29-15, appointment of public agency compliance officer, Resolution 30-15, a resolution requesting permission for the dedication by rider for the municipal court alcohol education rehab trust fund required by NJSA 26:2B-35B3. Resolution 31-15, appoint licensed site remediation professional, Excel Environmental Resources Incorporated. Resolution 32-15, resolution authorizing Excel Environmental Resources Incorporated to apply for grant funding by the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. Resolution 33-15, appoint substitute crossing guard. Resolution 34-15, authorize the release of a road opening performance bond at 140 Lee Street. Resolution 35-15, authorize handicap parking space located at 73 Orchard Street. Resolution 36-15, appointment of emergency management coordinator, Chief Michael Foligno. Resolution 37-15, authorize execution of the agreement for the municipal engineer, the Alimo Group. Resolution 38-15, appointment of licensed water operator, the Block Environmental Services of Woodland Park, New Jersey. Resolution 39-15, appointment of licensed sewer operator, the Block Environmental Services of Woodland Park, New Jersey. Resolution 40-15, refund overpayment due to tax appeal, 97 Linden Avenue. Resolution 41-15, refund overpayment due to tax appeal, 51 Bank Street. Resolution 42-15, refund credit balances on property tax accounts. Resolution 43-15, authorize lease payment for various site-owned properties within the borough. And Resolution 44-15, acknowledgement of the Bergen County Agreement for Public Health Services. At this time, I'm requesting that the mayor and council pull from the agenda, the advice of Chief Foligno and myself, Resolution 45-15, so that the chief can properly review the agreement, and it will be discussed at next week's work session.
Thank you. Gentlemen, may I have a motion to take off Resolution 45-15?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by
Second.
Mr. Dombrowski. Any discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call for the consent agenda, absent Resolution 45-15. Council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
We're voting on the consent agenda? and
No,
it's in-
no, we're just voting on
Just on the-
eliminating that last one.
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Pedagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Mayor, now we'll need a motion on the consent agenda, items 26 through 44.
Motion, please?
Mayor, if I may?
Well, let's get the motion first, the second, then discussion. May I have the motion, please?
So moved.
Mr. Dombrowski, second?
Second.
Mr. Pedagano. Any discussion?
Yes, Mayor, if I may, can we please pull R 37-15?
And is there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Second by, call the roll, please.
Mayor, also, I'd like to, if we could pull R 44-15, please, and talk about it separately.
It's fine.
So,
Motion to-
Councilman Coletti, do you amend your motion to pull both R 37 and R 44?
Yes.
Amend it?
Well,
So
I'm
that
asking you to
both of
amend
those
your
come up.
motion to pull both resolutions, the one you suggested and the one Councilman
Yes.
Dombrowski suggested. Councilman Bonsino, do you second that?
Yes.
Okay. On roll call to remove those two resolutions, R 37 and R 44. Councilmembers Catamagna,
No, no.
Coletti,
Well, I have a problem with this 3-year extension.
Wait. This is just,
all this is to vote on them
It's just to vote on
separately. You're
them
not
separately.
voting on the resolution itself, you're voting
To
on
take-
whether or not you wish to vote on these two resolutions as separate items.
Yes.
I put my vote yes, okay.
Okay. Councilmembers Catamagna?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Okay, so, Mayor, at this time, we will take a motion on the consent agenda, absent Resolution 45. 44, and 37.
Call the roll, please.
On roll.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Luciano, second. Ms. Coletti, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Okay, on roll call for the consent agenda, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Bear with me one second. Okay, the first item to be voted on as a separate matter is Resolution 37-15, authorize the execution of the agreement for the municipal engineer, the Alimo Group. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park retain the services of the borough engineer at the regular meeting of January 1st, 2015, and whereas the Alimo Group was retained to provide said services. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby approve the attached agreement from January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2017 with the Alimo Group of 200 High Street, Mount Holly, New Jersey, for a term of 3 years in accordance with the associated fees outlined in said agreement. Mayor will need a motion on the resolution.
May I have the motion, please?
So moved?
Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Martino, discussion.
Mayor, if I may,
Call the roll, please.
I have a problem with extending the contract for Limo for 3 years. They're doing all right. However, I feel the jury's still not out on them. They are a new engineering firm to this town, and I have no problem extending their contract for 1 year. Most of the projects that they started haven't come to fruition yet, and here we are giving them a 3-year contract. I think that's a mistake.
Any other comments?
Yes, Mayor. To follow up with Councilman Coletti, on the first of the year, the decision was made to give the Alimo Group a 3-year agreement. At the time, I preferred, and I mentioned that it's been a pleasure working with our engineer. Most of the projects that were undertaken in 2014 really haven't come to fruition yet in terms of completing the design and the execution. So I felt like I wanted to see that performance before I can make a longer-term decision. So this agreement, it really formalizes the decision we made on the first. I'm going to vote for it because we have to have something formal in place for Alimo, but we really should have proceeded on a year-to-year basis with the new engineer. Thank you.
Any other comments? When this came up on New Year's Day, I went along with the Alimo Group for a 1-year term because I thought he deserved another term. On a 1-year basis, the council majority decided that was not going to be the case and gave him a 3-year term. I think we should have gone for 1 year, see how he does. We don't have any facts or figures as to cost or anything else that he's accomplished. But it is now a 3-year term, and it should have been, as was indicated last year, that they would go along with a 1-year term and then see how it goes after that and keep it on a 1-year term. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution R44-15, acknowledgement of Bergen County Agreement for Public Health Services. Whereas the Board of Health of the Borough of Elmwood Park, at their January 12, 2015 meeting, discussed entering into a shared services agreement with the County of Bergen for public health services. And whereas the Board of Health desired to contract with the county to furnish health services of a technical and professional nature by the BCHS to the municipality pursuant to NJSA 26:3A2-1 et seq. And whereas the county shall provide duly licensed personnel to carry out the public health activities in compliance with the public health practices standards of performance for the local Board of Health in New Jersey. And whereas the Bergen County Department of Health Services shall provide services specified from January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2015, and that the municipality shall pay the county for services rendered within the contract for a total amount of $70,961.23. And whereas the Board of Health was authorized and directed to execute said agreement for the year at their 2015 Board of Health meeting, and where therefore be it resolved that the mayor and council hereby acknowledge the Board of Health entering into said agreement. Mayor will need a motion.
Motion, please.
Almost.
Martino?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, discussion.
Yes, Mayor. The reason why I asked to pull this out is because I would like the audience and the residents to understand what exactly we have done here. As a council, we voted on to bring in Bergen County Health Services, and we are replacing our current Board of Health, our Health Department, not our Board of Health. Our Board of Health will remain intact. We'll have the same jurisdiction as they've had all along. But what we've done is, like I said, contracted with Bergen County. This, right now, without anything else happening, will save us about $125,000 a year in taxes by doing so. Recently, there's been an announcement of a retirement, which potentially, and again, it all depends on where it ends up when the new person comes in, about another $30,000 in savings for this community. I think it's a great thing for this town to have happen. Not only do we not have just one inspector walking around our town, we will now have 17. And we will have 17 individuals that are available to answer emergency calls. It's a good thing for Elmwood Park, and I just wanted to make sure that you understood what this savings and what this council has done to help save the taxpayers some money.
Any other comments?
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
I concur with my colleague. This is a very good move for this town, savings of, as Mr. Dombrowski had mentioned, over $100,000. What made it a little easier for us was the fact that our health officer was resigning. So that pushed it along even quicker. Mayor?
Yes, we have two people resigning from the Board of Health, and that alone will save us maybe over $150,000 when they're gone. Well, one's gone, one may be leaving. So yes, and we'll have to see how it works out with Bergen County and their health offices, and I'm sure the Board of Health will watch that closely. Thank you.
Mayor, if I may, just for the record, statutorily, it is the Board of Health's obligation to enter into this contractual
Right.
agreement. The reason we have this resolution on tonight is basically for council consent to fund the county contract in the 2015 budget, and with adoption of this resolution, we'll so direct the CFO to budget accordingly.
Thank you. Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Catamani?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Mayor, that concludes the consent agenda. Moving on to appointments of various boards and mandated resolutions. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, Jeffrey Freitag to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R46-15, appointment of Board of Adjustment member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Jeffrey Freitag to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino?
Second?
Mr. Catamagna? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint Angelo Pinetta to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R47-15, appointment of Board of Adjustment member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Angelo Pinetta to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Coletti and Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
No.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
No.
Patagano,
No.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
No.
Motion does not carry. This appointment will have to be revisited in 30 days with a nomination to come from the governing body.
Well, what I'd like to do, since they have a planning board meeting, I appointed Mr. Pinetta as a reappointment. He's been very good on the board over the years. I'll waive my right, and since there's a meeting before the end of the month, if you have a name you want to submit, I'll accept that.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to submit Frank Delegate. He's a 12-year resident of Elmwood Park. He's also an architect. He lives on Orchard Street. Keith, if you need the address, I'll be happy to give it to you.
You can provide it to my office.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor. We'd like to nominate Frank Delegate.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Move.
Moved by Mr. Martino, second,
Catamagna?
Mr. Catamagna, discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano,
Yes.
Bonsino,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion for Mr. Delegante is approved. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint James Golembeski to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution 48-15, appointment of Board of Adjustment member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of James Golembeski to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Bonsino, Coletti, discussion? Call a roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Pettigano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Excuse me, Mayor, at this moment, if I may, I know I'm breaking in, but after the appointment of Mr. Golembeski, I realized that there was no suggestion for you to fill the second alternate seat on the zoning board or Board of Adjustments. I'd like to ask if we may put someone into that position.
Yes, I hadn't, over the years, I haven't appointed anybody to the second alternate position because they sometimes need a first alternate, but a second alternate, on many occasions, is not necessary. And sometimes some individual who's in a position says, I'm going to all these meetings, I never have a chance to vote. But if you feel it's somebody you have in mind that wants to go there and learn about the zoning board, I have no problem with that, just as long as they understand that they may not be voting on every issue.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, I'd like to nominate Paul Smith. Paul Smith has been a lifelong resident of Elmwood Park. He's a builder in town. He lives on Washington Avenue. Keith, I will also give you his address when that is.
If you can give that copy of this, Keith can give it to everybody here.
Certainly.
So, Mayor, at this time, you are waiving your
Yes.
responsibility to nominate a alternate number 2 to the Board of Adjustment for a 2-year period. Resolution, as we will number it, will be Resolution 55-15, appointment of alternate member number 2 to the Board of Adjustment. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Paul Smith to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 2 years, term ending December 31st, 2016 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Coletti, second.
Second.
Second by Mr., who is
Catamagna.
that?
Catamagna.
Mr. Martino. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Pettigano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Jamie Silverman to the Library Board for a period of 5 years, term ending December 31st, 2019. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R 49-15, appointment to the Library Board. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Jamie Silverman to the Library Board for a period of 5 years, term ending December 31st, 2019 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Coletti.
Second.
Second, Mr. Bonsino. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna.
No.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
No.
Pettigano.
No.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Abstain.
Motion does not pass. Mayor, at this time, will you be waiving or shall the 30-day
I
clock
just have a
begin?
comment. It appears it's a 3-2 vote on that, and I'm surprised that Mr. Catamagna is voting no, since he originally voted yes for Ms. Silverman when she was first appointed, and when and he sponsored the bill, or was involved in the bill. Democrats put her on, and I reappointed her, and he voted yes, so that's twice, and I just hope this doesn't create a problem with the library board, and now he's voting no, and he's the deciding vote. So,
Well, can I make a comment, Mayor?
you know,
you don't mind.
when I finish,
Are you done?
no. So I would hope that he would change his mind and support her, so that his past votes are consistent with his present vote. Mr. Catamagna?
Yes, Mayor. I have no doubt she's been doing an excellent job, but she doesn't live in Elmwood Park anymore.
State law provides her to be on the board. I
Well,
checked it out.
Thank you.
She
You know,
still owns
I'll-
it. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I like to see somebody from town. Okay, that's the reason why I'm voting no for her.
Okay. let me tell you that state law provides her as an outside resident to continue on the board. And second, she still owns a house in Elmwood Park, so she's still paying taxes. And quite frankly, I commend her for continuing or trying to continue on the board. We have a project that is being worked on, and she's extremely involved in that, and I think she's going to be tremendously disappointed to know that she's removed. I will review this again and bring up either another name at the next meeting.
So Mayor, at this time, you're not waiving and the 30-day clock.
Excuse me?
The 30-day period will begin, right?
No, I'm not waiving it.
No, I said you're not waiving the 30-day
Yes.
period is beginning. Okay. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Annabelle Meehan to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R50-15, appointment of Rent Leveling Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Annabelle Meehan to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Coletti, second.
Second?
Mr. Dombrowski. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmember Scatamania?
Yes.
Coletti?
Yes.
Martino?
Yes.
Patagano?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Lawrence Castiglia to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 1 year for the term unexpired ending December 31st, 2015. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R51-15, appointment of Rent Leveling Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Lawrence Castiglia to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 1 year for the unexpired term ending December 31st, 2015 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Vancino, second.
Second.
Mr. Mr.
Coletti.
Coletti. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamania,
No.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
No.
Patagano?
No.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Dombrowski?
No.
Resolution fails. Mayor, at this time, will you be waiving?
Yes, I'm not going to waive this. I just want to see if the Democrat majority has a person they want to put on, and then we can do that at the next meeting also.
Okay.
Mr. Castiglia was a councilman here, and I think with Ms. Meehan on, and him with some background experience, it would work out very well. Quite frankly, in the last 2 years, I don't think they had a meeting. Did they, Mr. Kazmark?
No, I believe the last time we met was 2013. Everything else has been resolved in my office.
Thank you.
The 30-day clock will begin on this appointment. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate with your advice and consent appoint. Mayor, do you have a name to add to the agenda for this evening? This is the second position on the Rent Leveling Board.
I waive my right to that one.
Okay. Do we have a nomination from the floor?
I'd like to nominate Mrs. Lori Colon. Her husband is, they live on Orchard Street here in Elmwood Park. Her husband is currently the new fire chief of Garfield. They own a home. They fulfill the qualifications. I'd like to nominate them.
Resolution R52-15, appointment of Rent Leveling Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Lori Colon to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years for the term ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed. Mayor will need a motion.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Martino, second.
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, discussion? Call the roll.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint Lori Sporviero to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2017. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution R53-15, appointment of Recreation Advisory Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Lori Sporviero to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 3 years for the term ending December 31st, 2017 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Second, Mr. Coletti and Mr. Catamagna. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers Catamagna.
Yes.
Coletti.
Yes.
Martino.
Yes.
Patagano.
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent, appoint William Manili to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 4 years. I'm sorry, that should be,
It is
3
4
years.
years.
what's that?
It's 4 years.
4 years?
Yes.
For the unexpired term of this
Mr. Garvey.
Garvey.
He had a 5-year
for a
term.
period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2018. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mulla, Mayor. Resolution R 54-15, appointment of Recreation Advisory Board member. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of William Meneely to the Recreation Advisory Board for a period of 4 years for a term unexpired ending December 31st, 2018 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Vansino, second.
Second.
Coletti, discussion?
Mayor, if I may, my vote tonight is not because of the individual. I will be voting no. I personally know Mr. Meneely very well, but we had already made an agreement with somebody that, and we thought that it was cleared through the mayor already, but unfortunately, there was some miscommunication. So my vote tonight for vote no is not because I do not like Mr. Meneely, but that we had already made an agreement with somebody else.
Any other discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
No.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Abstain.
Patagano,
No.
Vansino,
Yes.
Dombrowski.
No.
Motion fails. Mayor, at this time, will you be waiving this appointment?
No, I'm not going to waive it. I'm going to indicate that I was unaware that the council majority had somebody in mind. Now I understand, and I may be wrong, so correct me, that George Shama is the one that you're talking about.
Yes, sir.
If you would have given me that information before, I have no problem appointing George Shama at this board. I would have rather had Mr. Meneely on it. I think he understands that I spoke to him about it a long time ago before the name came up, and I thought he was going to get the support of the council. I really did. But at this time, I would like to appoint Mr. George Shama to the Recreation Board. Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Dombrowski, second.
Second.
Second by Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call for Mr. Shama, council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Coletti,
Yes.
Martino,
Yes.
Patagano,
Yes.
Vansino.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, that concludes my portion of the agenda.
How much time we have?
Right now.
Now.
Now? Okay, a short 2-minute recess or as fast as our videographer can change the tape. Thank you.
Mayor, at this time, that concludes my portion of the agenda. We do have to approve departmental reports, library minutes for November 17th, finance report for December 2014, court report for December, and police department report for December.
Motion approved, please.
So moved.
Vansino and Martino, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so ordered. Committee reports, Mr. Catamagna?
Yeah, I have really progress, but I have a comment I'd like to make. And this is reading the newspaper, that I don't understand why we have in our school a new monitor. I was under the impression that everything was fine. Everything was, after the Mr. Egan thing, everything was fine. Everything was in order. And I cannot see why we have to spend $98,000 an hour. I don't see why. Do we have a problem? I don't understand that. Everything was smooth.
Well,
Now, the taxpayers are gonna pay so much money, extra money. I mean, the state came to help us, but the state is taking away a lot of money from us. Really, I'm not happy with this.
No, I don't
The
think
school
anybody-
right now is in a shape they can run the proper way. I don't see why this guy, oh, they imposed this guy to us. Is that what it is? The state they gave us to us, we have to have it? We have no choice?
Yeah, I guess so.
Well, that's what I have. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, we can go over that if you want the council to respond to that at the work meeting. You can send something to the Board of Ed, see what happens. Mr. Dombrowski?
Yeah, Mayor, I'd like to take this time to congratulate a few people who were brought into office last week. I'd like to congratulate Doris Weckler for being put onto the Board of Ed for not only this term, but this will be her 4th decade serving on the Board of Education. And I'd like to congratulate her on that appointment. I think that was, I think it shows that you're very concerned about the school system, and I thank you for that. I'd also like to congratulate our new fire chief. He is taking over for a gentleman who has done a stellar job. and Chief Mutel. I'd also like to congratulate Chief Foligno for now being our new Emergency Management Coordinator. And again, Mayor, I thank you for the 30-day relief on those appointments, and I look forward to working on the others with you.
Thank you.
Progress.
Mr. Valensino?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. First, I'd like to thank outgoing Chief Mutel for his service as fire chief over the last term. I'd like to congratulate Chief Pressler as he takes the reins as chief of department, along with the new officers that were installed this evening. And to all the men and women of our fire department, on behalf of our community, I want to thank them for their service to our town, and our residents can rest at ease knowing that these dedicated group of individuals have our backs in town. On the police front, our police department has been very busy, has had a very busy 2 weeks, the first 2 weeks of the year. They've made a number of arrests relating to illegal substances, and a high percentage of those arrests are people who do not live in our community but are traveling through our community. And I'm hoping that, and I'm confident that because of this effort by our department, these folks are getting the message not to do this in our community. And along those lines, in August, we spend time down at Borough Field for National Night Out, where we talk about a police-community partnership. But that shouldn't only happen one evening in August, and that should be every day. And I know Chief Foligno and the members of our department rely on residents here in Elmwood Park to assist them in making our borough safer. So when you're back at home, make sure you and your family know that they're partners with our police department. Our police department are looking for their input to keep our town safe. And again, congratulations to Chief Foligno as he's taking the reins in terms of our Office of Emergency Management. And one final note relative to our ambulance corps. I was at their first meeting of the year, and the room was packed with members. It turns out a lot of members were back home from school, but it's good to see a lot of young individuals supporting our ambulance corps, and I appreciate their dedication and support to our borough. I'd also like to publicly express my condolences to the DeVito family. Chick DeVito, a longtime and life member of the ambulance corps, passed away recently. Chick and his wife Shirley were one of the members who mentored me when I was on the ambulance corps. There were a number of husband and wife teams when I joined, and one thing about Chick DeVito, he was very easygoing and took his time to explain what had to be done, especially in the heat of a call where sometimes your adrenaline gets the best of you. He will be missed. He was a friend of mine, and I'm sorry to hear of his passing. And one final note, I thought I'd know what the contract would be for New Jersey SEM relative to the gas commodity, but that contract hasn't been finalized yet. So I'm hoping that in the next couple of weeks we'll have that, and I'll have that data for you. So, thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. And your comment, Mr. Valensino, related to what the police are doing, apprehending people selling drugs. I'm not talking to the individual behind me, but I'm talking to all judges. They have a duty they have to provide legally, honestly, and send a message out to some of these people that they're going to have to serve time if they have a problem and then they commit a crime. I think that's important. We have to not only apprehend them, but we've got to convince them that doing this is wrong and should not be done. Thank you. Mr. Martino?
Two things. Along to what Mr. Valensino said in reference to the fire and the police. These gentlemen, especially the fire and the ambulance corps, do it for free. And the corny statement is they go in buildings while we're running out of them. I never saw so many firemen in one spot, and I hope we never see them too much around town, just for good things. The police, what can you say? Every day we get a notice of how many arrests they're making, and I guess I'm ignorant towards the amount of drugs that are out there, but every individual has 50, 60, 70 bags of substances, which is amazing, and some of them are from an hour away. Why they're coming here, God knows, but I appreciate the police, I appreciate the fire and the ambulance, and hopefully everybody goes home safe every night to their families. Other than that, progress, Mayor.
Thank you. I do have to comment, many times we have stops on Route 4 and other areas within town, and people are arrested with the drugs when they stop the car, and they're not for Elmwood Park or from Elmwood Park, and the drugs aren't necessarily for Elmwood Park, they're just
Absolutely, yeah.
coming right through Elmwood Park. But if that happens, police are going to catch them anyway.
Some of them are coming from an hour away. It's
Mayor, the suggestion I have for those people is go around Elmwood Park then.
Listen, one of the things that gets me annoyed and surprises me is they're driving from or through Elmwood Park, and they go through speeding. If you have drugs in the car, if you have a gun in the car, try to go through Elmwood Park without speeding. They speed, we stop them when we find them. You know,
Yeah, but Mayor, they're not too bright anyway if they have the whole in the car.
well, I don't want to go there, but you're
No,
right.
I can go there.
Mr. Pedigano.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to congratulate all the new installation of the firemen tonight. Also, I'd like to congratulate all the new board members that we have. Looking forward to this year with all these new people. I don't think we need to give suggestions to people to avoid our town or to not speed. Let them speed, that's okay.
Catch him.
We like catching them. But that'll be it tonight, Mayor, and thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Coletti.
Yeah, I got a real warm and fuzzy feeling tonight with the installation of the fire department. I've been around them a pretty long time. I got to know them pretty well. But what I got the kick out of was to see the youngsters that were knee-high to a grasshopper. And now they're lieutenants and chiefs. I know Mr. Pressler's mom and dad were in the audience, and we have Mr. and Mrs. Truinski who were in the audience also, and they got to be beaming with pride. And it's a good feeling, but it makes me feel a little older, you know? Great stuff. Regarding other activities of the fire department, it's been a very busy month, servicing many calls. Good news, our ladder truck is back from repairs and online. And I'd like to thank the county for the loaner truck while our truck was being repaired. And one final note with the fire department, the installation dinner has been changed. Its location is now the Elks Club. Same date, same time. Mayor?
Thank you. I don't want to repeat what has been said here. Of course, we thank all the police and firemen for their services to the town and the ambulance corps. I just wanted to bring up the three Presslers. It's quite a feat to have your fire chiefs, from three of them, it's the same family, father, son, and son. I was very fortunate to have installed all three of them. And then we'll move on from that point. I do want to indicate to everybody here and people who are watching this on TV, I did advertise in the weekly community news, anyone who's interested in being on the committee for the 100th anniversary of Elmwood Park East Patterson, they can call my office, they can call Keith's office. I have at least 6 people already who have indicated to me that they want to be on that committee. So anybody sitting here or anybody watching, please get involved. It's fun being on that committee. We had a committee for the 75th anniversary and a committee for the 50th anniversary. They all enjoyed it. And I do have to indicate to you that I believe it was the 75th anniversary that they put something in the committee, and for that 75 anniversary, the Hall of Fame. That's something that started with that committee, and we still have the Athletic Hall of Fame. So things can develop, so please join, get involved. They're not going to overburden you, but get involved, anybody wishing to do it. My office, Mr. Kazmark's office, email, anything you want to do. So do that. Mr. Boncino mentioned something about Chick DeVito. I know Chick for many, many, many years, and Shirley, and he will be missed. Good people, like all of our ambulance corps people, I don't pick any out, but I was very dismayed when he did pass away. He gave it the fight, and that was Chick. We'll miss him. Thank you. May I have a public portion? Anyone in the audience? May I have a motion to open the public, please?
So moved.
Mr. Argentino and Mr. Boncino. Anyone who wishes to speak, please give your name and address. And please speak into the microphone.
Keith.
Mrs. Wexler, will you please just turn that microphone toward us so that you can address the council? And pull it down?
Good
Thank you.
evening, Doris Wexler, 124 Silver Avenue. You didn't appoint Jamie Silverman tonight. I've sat on the board with her for 6 years. She's the glue that puts us all together. Us as a board, we have raised a lot of money, and to be honest with you, some of the councilmen want some money back for the town instead of building the library. You have to consider you're going to give back $38 to the taxpayers for one tax year. That's all the taxpayers are going to get back, and the council will have the control over the rest of the money. Jamie knows the laws, she knows everything about it. The rest of us work, Jamie has the time to do it. She is everything to the library board. She can help us out, everything, she does anything and everything we need. Please reconsider putting her on the board, we really need her back there. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
James DeMico, 64 Willow Street. I've had some problems recently, not problems, but I found out some things at the Board of Education. I know the council has no control over the Board of Ed, but I just...
I didn't hear that part. Will you say that
I know
again?
you have no control over what the Board of Ed does to council,
Thank you.
okay?
It's a separate body
It's a
elected by the
separate
people.
body, but I feel I need to stand up and just let the council...
That's fine.
know what's happening there. We had 2 referendums, build a football field amongst other things at the Board of Ed. Both of them voted down that football field. The people voted it down, they don't want a football field. Since that time, what's happened, and I've done my homework very well on this, because there's a lot of people on the Board of Ed that don't even know this. We were in a deficit. According to the state, you're not allowed to be in a deficit. The Board of Ed can't, so the state brought in a monitor. That costs us roughly about $150,000 a year. They get almost $100 an hour. They get $96 an hour. They're allowed to work 30 hours a week. So the state brought in a monitor to get things in control with the Board of Education. That's fine. We were in a deficit of a little over $2 million. So the monitor arranged for a loan from the state to get us out of this deficit for $2.3 million. What I think happened, though, is the people on the Board of Ed were never told what that loan means. Because I've spoken to some of them, and they still don't know. But what that loan means is, as long as we owe the state that $2 million, the state monitor stays. The state monitor stays for 10 years now. I spoke to the state today. I spoke to the man who appoints the monitors. He stays at a salary of almost $100 an hour for 30 hours a week for 10 years. So that number means we pay back $236,000 a year for the loan and $150,000 a year for the monitor. That comes out to $386,000 a year to pay back this $2 million loan. People on the board don't even know this. It's being kept from them. They weren't told, however it worked. Somebody did it, they told them, that's it. Now it comes, and guess what? We never had a deficit. They found the money. The $2 million that was missing, or that we were in a deficit, they found it. But rather than pay the state back, so it doesn't cost us $385,000 a year, they put it into another account. And that's for general, big improvements.
Speak into the microphone, please.
Okay, so
That's-
that, I just want the council to know, because maybe if we all get together, we can, I don't know, do something. But anyway, here's where we're at. We pay $386,000 a year now for 10 years. Some people on the board, they don't know that. They don't even know that that's what the rule was. That's good for 4 teachers, probably. So now, just for the people that voted against the field, which was 3-1 against it twice, the Board of Ed has voted to put up that field. They took that $2 million and they're going to use it to build a football field, rather than pay back the state. At this point, they can't pay back the state with that money. That money can't go back to the state now. It's in a different account. So, I just feel people need to know that's what happened. We were in a deficit. We never were in a deficit. They found the money. Some people think that the monitor came in, and the people on the board don't even know. Some people feel the monitor came in, and when he had to make a budget, because the budget was never done by our business administrator, he got too aggressive, and he raised too much money. That's fine, then pay it back to the state. We owe the state $2 million, it's not our money. So I just want the people to know, last year our taxes went up pretty significantly, and that was because of the Board of Ed for improvements that we voted for. That's okay. I spoke to the tax office. Our taxes are going to go up on the Board of Ed side this year substantially, possibly $700 to $800 per home for the Board of Ed, but for the referendum that we voted for. They have to do repairs. Now, it's that time to ask for that money. However, we have $2 million sitting in an account that we could use rather than to raise the taxes, but they're not going to do that because they want to build a football field, which would be a great thing for the children. But do we have the money? The football field, by the way, the engineers came and presented to the Board of Ed, is going to cost $3 million to do, to finish the right way. When I asked the Board of Ed, well, we only have $2 million. Well, we'll worry about that when the time comes. So, I just want you to know, the football field, as far as we know, the Board of Ed is doing it. They want this field. Somebody pulled a real sharp one to get this money for this field after the people voted it down twice. And it's costing us $385,000 a year for the next 10 years. The monitor stays. There's people on the Board of Ed right now that don't even know that. We're never told that. We have a superintendent. That's our monitor. He's supposed to know these things. And he did it, obviously. Nobody will say what happened. All I know is we have $2 million more than we were supposed to. So, in defense of the Board of Ed, they were told there was a deficit, but there never was. The money was hiding. I don't know how you lose $2 million, but they did. They were in a deficit, and then they found it. So, I just want people to know, and the people that voted, there is, so far, they voted for a new football field, and it's going to cost us, it is, no matter what now, until the state's paid back $2 million, it's $385,000 a year. We have children in the basements of a school, that's a fact. We have a classroom in the basement. We took away their buses, we're short on teachers, a football field would be great, but we voted no, and they're going to do it anyway.
Thank you.
That's all I have to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. D'Amico, if I may, I thank you for coming up and speaking tonight. I think you've made some excellent points. I think you clarified for a lot of people. I just would like to from my understanding, the Board of Education voted to look into what it's going to cost for a football field and not approve the football field. I believe that's where we stand now. There is no.
My understanding, because the engineers came and gave them the price.
But I don't believe that they actually voted on moving forward with that project.
I hope not.
I just want to make that clear.
That's, I hope not. We have improvements that have to be done first, that we voted for on a
Right.
referendum. They
No,
have to be done.
I concur. Everything that you said is very,
Money that's there instead of, listen, the football field will be great. I spoke to people down the state today. They think the same thing. It builds them around, more kids will go out for track, more kids will go out for football. That's not the issue. It'll be great. The state's not happy with Elmwood Park right now. That's not good. They're not happy. They know something happened there. We have $2 million of their money. They want to know what happened. And I don't think they're finished yet. But it doesn't look good. It doesn't look good when somebody wants to buy a home here. People look and they say, oh, there's all kinds of problems with that Board of Ed. I'm getting out of here. It's hard enough. I don't know how they do it. You can't, the man explained to me today too, listen to me, but you're a businessman. Board of Eds don't run like a business. They're not allowed to. You can't borrow and borrow and borrow and borrow and get them out. So it's a tough job. Where does Elmwood Park get $3 or $4 million for a football field when the council is trying to cut money, health department, this, that, to keep our taxes down? Where do we get this money? I want people to know, I'm for the field, but not this way. It's not, we can't afford the field. We don't have the money.
thank you.
Thank you.
But thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else who wish to be heard? If not, I'll close the public portion. Give us your name and address.
34 Locust Street, California. Hey, Mayor, I want to tell you something. I want to tell you right now that I'm against you painting the tank for $50,000. That is very false.
Well, let me just address that. We haven't even discussed painting the tank yet, so I don't know if it's going to cost $50,000, and I don't think anybody here on the council is going to go to paint the tank $50,000.
That's what I said. And another thing, ma'am, this town needs a lot of fixing. It needs the homeless town in Market Street. There's no stores open to go in the store to buy business or need food. There's no place. There's no place. Honest to God, I'm trying to tell you, there's nothing open anymore. Everything is closed down or rent signs up in town. Market Street needs a lot of fixing.
People have come in with stores and they haven't made the money and they moved out.
I know, but it's the whole town is moving out. That's the problem. Really? And that's what is going on.
No, the whole
It
town.
needs a lot of fixing.
Okay.
And I want to tell you, I'm by myself and I need stores around here. You got more on the other side of town and I can't get there. You gotta go all the way up to Ford to go to shopping.
Well, Lil's closed down. I don't know why. Maybe they weren't making enough money.
I know, but we need stores here.
Well, they come
We
in.
need some stores in this side of town. If you don't got nothing, we can't live.
Thank you.
I mean, everybody you think come out here to live with no stores around.
They're trying to put another store up on Route 4.
But it's still needed this side, not Route 4.
If they want to come in, they can be approved.
They need to be on this side of town.
Thank you.
On Market Street.
Thank you. Anyone else who wish to be
And one
heard?
more thing. Please fix the lights. When are you ever gonna get the lights fixed in this parking lot? I've been calling the town, I went so many times, and nobody comes to fix the lights. The public servant never comes.
Mr. Kazmark will look into that again. Thank you. Anyone else who wish to be heard? If not, I'll call for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So,
Mr. Martino, second.
Second.
Mr. Dombrowski, any discussion? All in favor, opposed, so ordered.
Aye.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, before we, you still on? Before we do that, if you want to watch this on TV or on our website, it's going to be on Monday, 2 p.m., cable channel 77, Monday, 2 p.m., Wednesday, 4 p.m., and Friday at 12 p.m., or on our website, www.elmwoodparknj.us. So, again, I'll repeat it, Monday at 2, Wednesday at 4 p.m., and Friday at 12 p.m., and that's on Channel 77. Thank you, and Cablevision. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. So ordered. Oh, I hope so.